Welcome back to the road. Today we're heading to Fort Sumner, New Mexico, hot on the heels of the famous desperado known as Billie the Kid. Fort Sumner, if you hadn't guessed from the name, was named after a military fort. The fort itself was named after the former military governor of the territory, Edwin Fort Sumner. There were some pretty dark things that happened at the fort, which we will explore later when we make a visit to the Basque Rondando Memorial Museum. The town or village, as they call it around here, has just over 1,000 people at the time of recording this. Looking around, I have my doubts that this place ever had a very large population. That's probably why outlaws like the kid hang around. The story of the people and the events that make up the history of the area all seem woven and twisted together. The internment of the Navajo and the long walk is so complicated, and yet it touches on everything that took place. I don't fully understand the internment. I think for most, looking back on history, we can only shake our heads at the tragedy of it all. But it was the internment that led cattlemen looking to make money selling beef to the military to start the Loving Goodnight Trail. The cattlemen are what connect us with Billie the Kid. The kid made his way out here, where he got tangled up with some of those cattle people and ended his short life by being shot in 1881. His story is a wild one. He was alleged to have killed 21 people before reaching his 21st birthday. Living by the gun, die by the gun, I suppose. Today, Fort Sumner is a dusty southwestern town off of US Route 60. I didn't have to take cover or run from any shootouts or gunslingers, so it's safe enough. But there doesn't seem to be a lot going on. The shops and places of business that have popped up over the years seemed closed. Many of the windows feature crumbling murals instead of items for sale inside. Even the graffiti seems long past its prime in this sun-bleached desert. In either case, we're keeping on the trail of the kid and taking the highway just out of town to Billie the Kid Museum.
现在在这个 Billie the Kid 的博物馆，让我们现在一起进去看看吧。
I have to wonder what Billie the Kid would have turned into had his life not gone the way it did. He was orphaned at the age of 15 and shortly after had his first run-in with the law when he was arrested for stealing food. He managed to escape, as he would a number of times over the next few years, and went over to Arizona. I can't help but asking myself again how he would have turned out under better circumstances. But it happened the way that it did. The kid got involved in something called the Lincoln County War. His fame came as a result when his name was attached to some news stories in big newspapers across the country. His group killed 3 lawmen, who themselves may have killed a man on behalf of some cattle interests, starting the entire thing. Whatever the reason, the kid was convicted of the murders, and that was what led to his death. The museum has a lot of history to say, including some of Billie the Kid's very own items. If you want a taste of the Wild West, then this is a great place to get it. they're old, but there are so many guns in this place, they could probably supply an army. I guess it gives a sense of some of that well-regulated freedom, regulated by all of those revolvers. The next stop is a reminder of a dark moment in American history. In 1863, the federal government forced around 10,000 Navajo people from their home and made them walk 450 miles into New Mexico. They were interned here, and I'm not really sure why. Was the government hoping to change them to live more like themselves? Were they hoping they would just give up on their home and settle here instead? Or was it to remove a people they saw as inconvenient entirely? The conditions here were pretty harsh. I have read that up to 20% of the population died through the event. Whatever the intentions of the government, they eventually failed. A treaty was signed in 1868, and the people who survived were set free. I can't help thinking of how it must have been. What do you do after something like that? Do you just go back home as if everything is normal? We have some modern examples that we can explore, but that will be for another video. For now, let's take in the exhibits and reflect on the lives of the people who suffered here. We couldn't leave Fort Sumner without visiting the final resting place of Billie the Kid. The place is decorated with the shrines of the kid's contemporaries from the Old West. Follow the dusty path, and you will see a cage in the old dusty field. They couldn't keep him locked up in life, but they have him caged in death. At least for now they do. I'm told it's to protect his tombstone from theft. Well, goodbye, kid. See you on the other side. Fort Sumner is a dusty place with a complicated history. I have to wonder if many major cities have a history as complicated as this little village in New Mexico. I hope you enjoyed the visit to Fort Sumner, New Mexico. Thank you for watching. See you next time.